What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and there has been a lot of criticism directed at all of the people involved in what happened on the set of Rust, where Alec Baldwin shot and killed Halyna Hutchins, the cinematographer, and injured the director Joel Souza. It's been directed at the inexperienced armorer, 24 years old, only her second official armorer job, and she clearly had no control over what was going on that set in regards to safety. Of course, the assistant director, who, according to some, was the last person to have that weapon before he handed it to Alec Baldwin. And of course, Alec Baldwin himself has been at the center of a lot of this controversy, not only as a producer of Rust, in charge of everything that went down on set, who to hire, who to fire, all of those things, but also as the one who was holding the gun when he killed Halyna Hutchins. But evidently, it's been a little bit too much for him. It's just too stressful for Alec Baldwin since he went protected on Twitter. Now, I have been paying attention to what Alec Baldwin's been doing on Twitter because he's used it as an opportunity to shift blame away from himself. We talked about it when it happened. Alec Baldwin appears to assign blame for Rust shooting as he retweets a news story. And indeed, he tried to pass the blame onto the assistant director by essentially endorsing an article that came out, putting basically all the blame on the assistant director, David Halls. Well, after that happened, he came out and he made a plea for sympathy, effectively. He talked to the press for about 3 minutes, saying, well, I can't talk about this. Him and his wife came out there, and it was a really bad look. I made a few videos about it because he effectively tried to play victim and garner sympathy for him and his family and what they're having to go through right now. And there's even an article on the New York Post about it. Alec Baldwin and not Spanish wife's sickening act for sympathy. We're going to go through this a little bit to see what's been happening. But now Alec Baldwin has gone protected on Twitter because he started talking about politics already. A week and a half after you take an innocent woman's life because of your negligence and because of the negligence of the rest of the people on that set. And already you're back at it again. Talking politics, trying to play victim like everyone should feel bad for you and what your family's having to go through while you have left someone a widower, while you have left a child without a mother. That's what you have done, Alec Baldwin, intentionally or not. That is the result of this. And you can see here, Alec Baldwin criticized for slamming U.S. government on Twitter hours before he spoke on Halyna Hutchins' shooting death. So in response to this backlash that he got, he went protected on Twitter. Again, not acknowledging anything, not taking responsibility for anything, not owning up to anything. Simply running and hiding and playing victim because that is all this man knows how to do. The actor had called Halyna Hutchins my friend and said he is in constant contact with her grieving family, when in fact hours before he was already going back to his usual Twitter social media activity of slamming things that he also knows nothing about. And there's a picture of Halyna Hutchins. Again, I try to say this in a lot of my videos. My deepest condolences go out to her family and her friends and everyone who have lost this person from their lives. It is a tragic, tragic situation. However, Twitter users blasted the 63-year-old's apology after accusations that the star tweeted before his public comments. In the tweet, which was sent from Alec Baldwin's official Twitter account, the star responded, "The federal government," to a tweet about a once great American institutions misleadingly operating under their old names. Twitter users immediately responded to the actor, telling Baldwin that his return to Twitter was, quote, "too soon. Have several seats, sir. Now is not the time to be on social media." Another wrote, "Show respect and don't tweet too soon." A third user noted Baldwin was only off the app for a week, stating, "Wow, a whole week of mourning. Maybe I thought he would just be a little more respectful to the victims or just people as a whole." So this response is what led to Alec Baldwin running and hiding like a bitch and protecting his Twitter account. And I was just going there, ironically, to find some of his retweets blaming the assistant director, because I have another video about that will be coming out shortly. But it really directed me towards this New York Post article, which I think my nerdy home alerted me to. Shout out Steph. Alec Baldwin and not Spanish wife's sickening act for sympathy. After parading out around Vermont all weekend, staging a bizarre impromptu roadside press conference, then posting happy family Halloween portraits on Instagram, Alec Baldwin and his insufferable fraud of a wife, Ilaria, have lost any public sympathy they once had. If you don't know that about his wife, basically that she's faking being Spanish, that is a whole nother story. Doesn't really relate to what we're talking about right now, but it is pretty funny. You should check that out for yourselves. Boom, gone. all in about a week. Parenting through this has been an intense experience, to say the least, Hilaria posted on Halloween night. Really? Hilaria may want to talk to Helena Hutchins' widower about what it's been like parenting their young son through this intense experience. Apparently, the poor boy couldn't talk for a few days after this happened. Obviously, he was close with his mother, as most children are. And listen, I don't think that people need to put their lives on hold, right? I don't think that Alec Baldwin needs to, every single moment of the day, should just be obsessing over what happened. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that that should be the expectation upon anyone. But it is strange when you do a press conference blaming everyone for, oh, it's been really hard on us. It's been really hard on what we've had to go through all this. Well, you're the one who has taken a life. You're the one who has caused this family to be irreparably broken. And no acknowledgement, no feeling of remorse at all in this entire press conference that we've gone over. Again, I'll probably put a link to one of the videos, up there so you can click on it and see it if you want. But that entire strange press conference was their thing. They pulled the press over to do that so that they could play victim. And now Alec Baldwin going back to normal on Twitter, it's not being received very well by people. He got backlash for it, deservedly so. And now he's running and hiding. But there is more over here. If we go back to this article, yet the Baldwins, in all their malignant narcissism, would have us keep our eyes on their particular freak show, one rife with bad acting, ill-advised activity, and Alec's strange aura of imperviousness. You get the sense that Baldwin's pretty sure he won't be criminally charged, and that all this overacting, how many photos were taken of Alec this weekend with his head in his hands after he was caught shopping at Ralph Lauren, or going on a coffee run, or sitting at a bar in a restaurant he and Hilaria bought out in front of a large window so the paparazzi could get their unobstructed shots, is just to save off a civil lawsuit. And this is what we're talking about. He's saying, oh, we don't want to do anything. But yes, clearly he went out to eat to have these pictures taken. There's no doubt in anyone's mind about that. So this is all a show. This is all a game. And he pushed it too far by trying to return to normal back on Twitter. And he got all the backlash that he deserved. At the very beginning of this, before we knew anything, I said, listen, we don't know what happened. We don't know what went down. But you do have to feel for Alec Baldwin a little bit, because even if he was completely negligent, even if he did every single thing wrong all the way up to this, I do not believe he intended to do this thing, right? So I had a little bit of sympathy for him, because he took a life when he did not mean to, even if he did all the wrong things leading up to that. But now it's hard to have any sympathy for this man whatsoever, with all the steps that he has taken all along the way and all the blame that he has tried to pass on everyone else. Not that there's no more responsibility to go around. I do think that Armorer, we need to do a lot of investigation into her. The assistant director, a lot of investigation into him. Everything that went wrong in this situation. But Alec Baldwin pretending like he's the victim and now running and hiding, protecting his Twitter accounts? You are a bitch, sir. We've always known that. But now everyone can see it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.